What's up everyone? Today I'm going to show you how to grill a spatchcocked chicken on my large big green egg. I'll show you all the steps, how to prep the chicken, how to season it, how to get the grill ready, and how to cook a perfectly juicy chicken. The ingredients list is very simple for this cook. So I've got a whole fryer chicken that we're gonna prep. I've got some poultry shears to make that a little bit easier, and I'm also using a sweet and spicy barbecue rub to season the chicken. You can use any seasoning you want, any sort of barbecue rub mix, so will work since this is poultry. And then as far as the prep of the actual chicken goes, all that we're gonna do is I'm gonna cut out the backbone that runs here on the back side of the chicken using my poultry shears, and then we're gonna open the chicken up so it's butterfly. That's what the term spatchcock means. Season it, and then we'll throw it on a large big green egg to cook it. Okay, let's get started on this bird. So the first step is to cut out this backbone. So I'm using my poultry shears to make that a little bit easier. You can use a knife. I find that the shears work better, and all you're gonna do is just cut right on the side of the spine, so you can see it right over here. Just go all the way to the end. So that's one side. Now do the other side. Take this guy out. So this you can save if you're making a chicken stock, or you can toss it, throw it in the freezer as well, really up to you. For this application, I'm going to toss this guy out. I won't be needing it anytime soon. But now our chicken has been, our backbone has been removed. So the next step is to press down on the breasts. You want to break or crack this bone that goes right down in the middle. So you can hear that crack. Now we'll flip it over. Press down again. So now, as you can see, let me turn this guy over. Right, our chicken is very flat. It's nice and even. And what this will do is it'll allow it to cook much faster than when you're cooking a chicken whole. And it will also cook more evenly. So a lot of times there's issues where if you're roasting a whole chicken, the breast will overcook because the thighs and the dark meat take longer to cook. If it's spatchcocked, everything will come up to temperature at the same time, ensuring that you're not overcooking the breast and your chicken stays nice and juicy. All right, so now that the chicken is spatchcocked, we're gonna take our seasoning. So I'll take my glove off. You don't wanna cross-contaminate. I'll flip it over first. So we'll season the bottom first. Just a nice even coating. All right, flip it over, and now we'll do the top side. Now that our chicken is prepped and seasoned, I'm gonna let it sit out here for a little while, and in the meantime I'm gonna fire up the grill and get it up to temperature. I've got my big green egg filled up with lump charcoal, so I'm gonna start the fire using this propane torch. Just turn this knob here, press the igniter. I'm not sure if you can see the flame, but we'll get this charcoal lit. Let that fire spread around a little bit, and then we'll get the chicken going. The setup for this cook is going to be indirect. So after my fire is started, I'm gonna put in the plate setter. So this goes right over the charcoal. And what this does is this will create an indirect or a direct barrier for the heat source, creating an indirect cooking zone on top. So that way there's no worries about the chicken, burning because of flare-ups, because everything is indirect. Now on top of this plate setter, or this ceramic plate, I'm gonna put this aluminum drip pan, so this will catch any drippings from the chicken, prevent that plate setter from burning up too much. And then right on top, I will put my grate. So the grate goes like so, and then my chicken will go directly on the grate once this is up to temperature. So this is the setup on the Big Green Egg for indirect cooking. So again, you have the plate setter, the drip pan, and then the grate sitting on top. The next step, once this is all set, is to adjust the air vents to regulate the temperature on the egg. So there's a vent on the bottom, and then there's a vent on top, and then these two vents are used to control the airflow in the Big Green Egg, which will in turn regulate the temperature. So the wider that's open, the more air gets in the grill, the hotter it's going to get. The cooking temperature for this cook is going to be between 350 375. So I'm going to open this bottom vent about 1.5 inches or so, close the lid, and I'll crack open the top one, maybe that much, and I'll leave that for about 15-20 minutes, and I'll keep an eye on the temperature gauge to see how it's coming up, making sure that it doesn't go over the 350 mark. Now I'm cooking this on the Big Green Egg indirect, but you can follow this recipe and cook it on any grill that you have. The main thing to keep in mind is to keep it indirect, meaning there's no direct heat source or flames underneath the chicken to prevent it from burning up. You can also make it in the oven. One recommendation for that is to cook it on a small rack over a pan, so that way it's not sitting directly on the pan. There's more airflow underneath the chicken, so again it'll cook more evenly and it'll cook quicker. The grill is coming up to temperature, so we're at about 325 now, so I'm going to go ahead and put my spatchcocked chicken on the grate. Just pick this guy up. See, it's been sitting out here for about 20-25 minutes, and you can see it's starting to sweat. That rub is absorbing into the skin, into the meat, so this should be tasty. So let's pick this guy up. Put it the same way right on the grate. Take your rub and just give it another dusting. It's fine. Chicken is pretty bland on its own, so it's okay to go pretty heavy with the seasoning. If it's nothing too spicy, it should be good. And it looks great already. It's not even cooked yet. But there's one last thing that I'm going to do to ensure that this comes out very juicy, very tender, not dry and over. And that is, I will be using my leave-in meat thermometer. So I'm going to put this probe right into the breast. Then I've got a temperature display on here to see where it's sitting at. So poultry, you want to cook to 165 degrees. I've got the alarm set for 160. So I'll start checking the temperature at that time again, and then pull it a few degrees shy of 165, let it rest, and then it's going to come up in temperature to the safe 165. So you want to take your probe, right, and then just put it right here in the breast, into the thickest part. So just stick it in like so, right, and that's it. We'll close the lid, let that guy cook. We've got our temperature, so it's sitting at about 55 right now, which is what I was expecting. It was sitting outside for a bit, so it's starting to come up to room temperature, and then we'll just keep an eye on it. Our chicken is sitting at 160.2. Let's take a quick look at it, see how she's looking. And it's looking amazing. Awesome color. Smells great. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull it off the grill, put it on my cutting board, rest it for 10-15 minutes, and it will be perfect. So let's get this guy off. Pull the probe out. Okay, use this big old spatula to get this guy off. Just lift this chicken up here. Oops. Oh man, look at this. Looks great. So let's set it down here. Slide it off. Similar to when you cook steaks, you want to rest the chicken after it's pulled off the heat for about 10-15 minutes. This will allow the juices to redistribute. It's still cooking, it's still going to come up in temperature even more while it's resting, so that's why you always want to pull a couple degrees shy of your target temperature. But this bird looks great, so let's give it a few minutes, let it rest. I'll come back in a while and I'll slice it open. So it's been about 15 minutes. Chicken has been resting. It looks great. Great color all the way around. So let's cut it open and see how it turned out. So carving these up is really easy after they've been spatchcocked. I'm gonna cut right here to separate the leg and the thigh from the breast. Same thing on this side. So just cut right there. See, comes right off. Look at this, it is just super juicy. Let's cut the other one off. Looks great. The wings are just falling apart too. Look at that. What a tasty looking wing. Same thing with this one, it just comes right off. You can cut right where the joint is, so it'll come nicely off. Okay, now let's cut the breast. Do it on this side. Okay, let's see. Might be hard to see in the video, but this is one juicy chicken breast. So we can cut the bone off from the bottom, just like so. Move this out of the way. And just slice these guys up. Well, there you have it. Perfectly juicy, tender, spatchcocked chicken from the Big Green Egg. Man, this turned out super awesome. The skin looks great, very crispy, and this breast is just super juicy. Only one thing left to do. Let's try it out and see how it tastes. Let's try. Here's our chicken. That is really good. Great grilled flavor. You can taste some of the smokiness from the charcoal, even though I wasn't using any wood pieces. Super juicy, not dry at all. A great way to make chicken at home. Spatchcock it, throw it on. This guy took about 35-40 minutes to cook, which is a good time for a full chicken like this. So yeah, I'm gonna keep eating this. Let me know what you think. I'll have a link to all the products that I used in the description, so you can check that out, including the thermometer and the poultry shears. Let me know what you thought of the video. Like, comment, subscribe, and thanks for sticking around.